This is Black Templars army. Heavy support Land Raider. Elite 5-man squad Terminators. A Land Speeder Typhoon. A 5-man combat squad. A Dreadnought with assault cannon. Emperor's Champion. A 10-man Initiate and Neophyte squad. High Marshal Helbrecht and his command units.
And then for allies, Ben has taken a Storm Raven gunship, twin-linked laser cannon, and twin-linked multi-melter. Def Company Dreadnought, 7 Def Company, 2 power swords and a thunder hammer, and then the HQ for the allies is a Reclusiarch. Right, my army list, I've taken the Warp Spiders again, and for my Warlord, I've taken the Eldar Avatar, and 5 Dire Avengers in the transport, Troops Choice, Flanking Scorpions in the Wave Serpent twin-linked Scatter Laser, Falcon, heavy support with 5 Dire Avengers as Troops Choice, 2 heavy supports, 2 Wraith Lords with Bright Lances and Swords, and then Prince Uriel in the transport with 6 Fire Dragons with 5 Pike Tank Hunters, and then 8 Harlequins with Troop Master, Power Sword, 2 Fusion Pistols, and 4 Harlequins Kisses. That's my entire Eldar army. Right, scenarios, big guns never tire. So the Eldar deployment zone is running along here. It's Dawn of War. Deployed. 1 Wraith Lord on this objective on the left. Harlequin's just in the middle. Avatar on this Wraith Lord on that objective. Now heavy supports count as scoring units. They're both holding those objectives. And then this Falcon is just at the back here with 5 Dire Avengers inside. And then in reserve, 1 unit Warp Spiders, they'll be deep striking. 1 unit Dire Avengers. The Striking Scorpions, they will be flanking. And then in from reserve will be Uriel and the Fire Dragons. Right, Ben's deployment's got 1 unit of Initiates behind the building there with a Dreadnought. And the Land Raider with the Sword Brethren just parked at the back. And then running along the Emperor's Champion, just in the middle there. Helbrecht and his company command just behind this building, and then they're on top. They're actually on the 2nd level inside the windows here. There's 1 combat squad of 5, and then the Land Speeder just on the left-hand flank. And then in reserve is the Def Company inside the Storm Raven with the Def Company Dreadnought. Right, Templar's movement. The Land Speeder's moved just round to the side there, and then Helbrecht's moved up just through the gap. The Emperor's Champion's moved up. Dreadnoughts move round, and the Land Raiders just move round to the left. And then his squad has occupied the building on the objective. No shooting, so moving on to Eldar turn 1. Shifted over to the right, shot and failed to kill one of the figures from Helbrecht. The Avatar sneaked inside in the building. Harlequins have moved up inside the building. Falcon shifted over and shot upstairs. It is Initiates, failed to do any damage. It's Night Fighter rules, so they make good cover saves, and the Wraith Lord shot, failed to do any damage. So moving on to Templars turn 2. Templar movement. Land Raiders moved out to the side, to the right hand side to shoot at the Wraith Lord. Initiates have moved down from the top of the building and just hiding behind here. Dreadnoughts moved up to the left. Emperor's Champion's moved forward on his own. Land Speeder's moved up to fire down on the Wraith Lord. Helbrecht and his squad have shifted to the left, and the small combat squad is just holding the building. Right, Templar shooting on turn 2. Land Raider shot and did 1 wound on the Wraith Lord. Dreadnought moved up. He's in big trouble now. And the Land Speeder fired and caused 1 wound on the Wraith Lord down here. So it's now Eldar movement on turn 2. Eldar turn 2 movement. The Wraith Lord shifted over to the left, so he's in cover now for Land Raider. The other Wraith Lord's moved over from the left to here, and he's got a shot at the Land Raider. Uriel's transport's come on, and then he'll turbo boost up.
That's the champion.
The Falcon's shifted over, so it's now got a clear shot straight ahead of the Emperor's champion. The Avatar has come out from the building, has moved round and will engage the Dreadnought there. And then I've just moved up the Harlequins moving in to engage a squad behind the building. Left hand side here, the Scorpions have turned up and disembarked. And then the Warp Spiders, who tried to land up here, have instead landed down here and survived their dangerous terrain check. So there's been a lot of firepower released this turn. So on to Eldar shooting. Eldar shooting on turn 2. The Wraith Lord fired, failed to penetrate on the Land Raider. The other one hit and glanced, but he saved it. Uriel's transport went flat out and moved up. The Harlequins ran and are up behind the building now. The Avatar fired and blew up the Dreadnought. Falcon fired and the Emperor's champion survived. And then on the flank here, the Scorpions fired, the transport fired, and the Warp Spiders fired, killed 2, the Apocrypha's done, and the Chapter Banners died, so we've reduced that squad, but not enough, and they're going to be in trouble with Helbrecht on the next turn. Right, Templars turn 3. The Blood Angels have arrived and zoomed on. Just sitting on the building there looking down on the Eldar position. And then the Land Raider has backed off just into the corner here. Right, shooting the Storm Raven fired down at the Falcon and failed to do any damage. Land Raider fired through the gap and blew off the turret on the Wave Serpent with Uriel in. And the Land Speeder failed to do any damage to the Wraith Lord. Initiators have just moved around the back here. The Emperor's champion's moved up. He's going to try and take on the Avatar under the bridge. His troops' choice is holding its position. The Land Raider, the Land Speeder's holding position, and Helbrecht's already in position to charge the Scorpions and or the Warp Spiders. Right, Templars turn 3. They charge the Scorpions and the Warp Spiders. Helbrecht's unit took some casualties. It's only the Sergeant left in Helbrecht, but they killed a whole load of the Warp Spiders and Scorpions. They've both fallen back, and Helbrecht's in pursuit after consolidation. And then over in the middle here, the Avatar killed the Emperor's champion and has moved up 2 inches. So Eldar turn 3. The transport of the Dire Avengers has turned up, it's just moved there. The Wraith Lord's moved across for a shot at the Land Speeder. Shot at the Land Raider. The Wraith Lord's holding position. Uriel's units moved out across.
One save, he's dead.
Disembarked and deployed to take on the Land Raider.
No, yes,
Falcon's moved up on top of the building. Take on the Land Speeder. The Avatar's moved around. And the Scorpions have fallen back. And the Warp Spiders have rallied and holding position. Right, Eldar shooting on turn 3. The Scorpions and the Warp Spiders did nothing. The transport shot and killed the Sergeant from Helbrecht's unit. So it's Helbrecht on his own now. The Falcon shot and damaged the Land Speeder, and then the Land Speeder was finished off by this Wraith Lord. The Avatar's moved inside the building. This Wraith Lord shot and missed at the Storm Raven. Transport the Dive Rangers moved up, and Uriel's unit shot and destroyed the Land Raider and killed one Terminator, so 4 Terminators have got out inside. So we're on to Eldar Assault Phase next. Right, Eldar Assault Phase, the Harlequins have charged through the building and have charged into the Initiate unit. So the Harlequins charged out of the building, but without grenades. The Initiates went first, killed 4, and then in return the Harlequins managed to kill 2. So they lost, failed morale, and were caught by the pursuing Templars and were wiped out. So Templars have won that round of combat, and the game is swinging in favour of the Templar army. Right, Templar turn 4. James is still in flying mode, he's moved down. On course to shoot at these. On the other side, the Templars have moved up. Initiates are holding the high ground here. Still holding the building. And the Hellbreak's moved up to charge into the warp spikes. Templar turn 4 shooting. Storm Ranger's done no damage, tried to hit the Falcon, didn't do any damage. Didn't do any damage to the Wraith Lord. The Templars upstairs shot and killed 1 Fire Dragon. The Templars in the building over here have climbed down. They're now just by the doorway on the other side. And Hellbreak shot and failed to win the Warp Spiders, so it's Templar Assault Phase coming up. Templar Assault Phase turn 4. Uriel managed to kill Terminator. His Terminator chopped down 4 of mine, but they held their ground, so that melee continues. And then Hellbreak charged and destroyed the Warp Spiders and has consolidated 6 inches. So moving on now to Eldar turn 4. Eldar turn 4. This transport was pulled back. One that's got Dire Avengers inside. This Wraith Lord's moved up from here to here. This Wraith Lord failed to activate, so he's remaining still. The Avatar's still inside the building. Uriel's empty transport has jumped up over and around. This combat continues. The Falcon's moved from up here and has jumped down here. And it's got a clear view to Hellbreak up ahead. The Scorpions fell back. They're in the doorway here, and the transport in the far corner just shifted an inch. The only damage done was from this transport, killed the sergeant of the 5-man squad there. So on to Eldar Assault Phase. Phase on turn 4. Yep. Uriel is dead.
We have funeral
and the Fire Dragons. So the Eldar are in trouble now. Eldar are losing. Death Company haven't even appeared yet.
Right, so you want to move that way.
So moving on now to
just 3 of them. They can get mowed down.
Templars turn 5.
Offside do this.
Right, Templar turn 5 movement. James has gone into hover mode with his Storm Raven. And he's moved in this direction to fire at the Falcon. Death Company Dreadnought's got out. He's going to try and take on the Avatar in the building. And then the Death Company have disembarked here, and they're going to try and take on the immobilised or silent Wraith Lord. Terminators have moved through in this direction, and Helbrecht has moved back towards my transport, the Eldar transport at the back, and his Marines have moved out of the building, heading towards the transport as well. Well, Templar shooting. The Dreadnought did a wound on the Avatar. James fired here down at the Falcon, 2 penetrations, but they were both Jinx saved. His Space Marines have moved up to claim the objective there, and Helbrecht's fired, did a glancing hit on the Wave Serpent, and he's just rolled and managed to charge into combat there. So it's combat phase next for the Templars. Templar turn 5, combat. Dreadnought caused a wound on the Avatar, holds its ground as that melee continues. James rolled a double 1 to charge and failed to reach the...
Don't mention it.
Failed to reach the Wraith Lord. And Helbrecht destroyed my Wave Serpent transport in the corner there. He's done very well with scan. So moving on now to Eldar turn 5. Right, Eldar turn 5. The Falcon's moved up 6, turned around, spun its gun around to shoot his squad, and then the Dire Avengers have got out trying to snatch this objective at the end of the game.
Oh, well, I know the stats, I know that.
Striker Scorpions have fallen back. There's no hope of them coming back now. The melee continues in the middle. Wraith Lords activated and moved to assault this Storm Raven that now counts as a fast skimmer. Second Wraith Lord has moved into position to assault the Death Company. This Wave Serpent's fallen back and he's dropped off his troops here to try and claim this objective as well. It's a tough one at the end of the game here for the Eldar, and the transport there has just moved along, trying to get itself in a position to tank shock if we go into turn 6. So Eldar shooting coming up. Eldar shooting on turn 5. The Wraith Lord managed to kill 1 member of the Death Company. And over here, the Falcon and the 5 Dire Avengers managed to kill 2 Marines on the objectives. That one's contested at the moment now. And we're just going to move on to Eldar assault phase next. Assaults, the Wraith Lord has charged the Death Company, and the other Wraith Lord has charged the Storm Raven. Alright, Eldar combat's gone well. The Avatar has killed 2 Death Company, won the combat. He took a wound himself, so he's almost died, but he's done well. The Avatar has destroyed the Death Company Dreadnought and has moved out. And the Wraith Lord has destroyed the Storm Raven. Wiped out a lot of Blood Angels in that turn over there. So moving on now, we've rolled, the game continues, so moving on to Templar turn 6. Templar turn 6 is Terminators moved up through the gap here. Last 2 Marines move forwards, they're going to try and assault the Dire Avengers, and Helbrecht's move forwards as well. There's hardly anything left on the table. It's going to be a tight run. Right, assault phase now, turn 6 for the Templar. The 2 remaining Marines have charged the Dire Avengers. Melee continues with the Death Company. And the Terminators have just run forwards, looking to contest objectives. Templar turn 6 assault phase. Death Company destroyed the Wraith Lord. They've consolidated 6 inches. It's not good. And they won the combat here against the Dire Avengers, but Dire Avengers held. So we're moving on now to Eldar turn 6. The game is right in the balance. Only a few units left on the table. Right, Eldar movement on turn 6. Dire Avengers have held their ground. Transport's just shifted back. Avatar's moved up and across. And the Wraith Lord's moving in as well. It's going to be a showdown between the Death Company and the last of the Eldar units on this side. And then the Falcons move back in a position to shoot at Helbrecht, and that combat continues. The Wave Serpent moved over, tank shocked onto the building, moving off the initiates, but they're underneath, so they're still within 3 inches of the objective, so it's still held by them. So we're on to Eldar shooting on turn 6. Right, Eldar shooting on turn 6. Wraith Lord and the Avatar managed to kill 2 Death Company. It was good shooting. No damage on the Terminators and no damage on Helbrecht. So it's Eldar Assault move coming up now. Eldar Assault's pretty obvious. The Wraith Lord's gone in and the Avatar's gone in. It's going to be a bloodbath. Eldar turn 6 combat. Wraith Lord and the Avatar killed the 2 Death Company and wounded the Reclusiarch. Nothing in return. But he held his ground, is fearless. So that continues. And the Dire Avengers lost one, but held their ground. So that's a continue melee. We've rolled up a 1, so the game ends on turn 6. So we're going to calculate victory points.